So welcome to Corpus Christi, guys. So I had a couple of viewers recently inquire on why I live here, because the roads that I typically film on look so ugly and drab. Wanted to give you guys a different perspective of Corpus near the water. I'm actually walking out to the port of Corpus Christi, which is one of the largest ports in the country, and in the world, actually. Looking at the IVS Sparrowhawk. This bridge that's above us right here is an incredibly tall bridge, and actually it's in the process of being replaced. So this bridge will be replaced with a new one that spans this entire area right here, and it will be one of the longest, if not the longest, cable-stayed bridge in the country. I don't know if you can see, there's a dolphin swimming right there. But yeah, Corpus Christi is a lot more than what most people view it as if you're just basing it off of the videos that I post. That is the USS Lexington over there, retired aircraft carrier. So what's going on, guys? I had so many people comment on a few of my videos about how I drive down the same flat, drab roadways in all my videos. I decided to change it up a little bit and take you down a different stretch of road that I think will be a little bit more visually appealing. So as most of you know, I am from Corpus Christi, Texas. Now that being said, traditionally, you're not going to have any really scenic view when you are not near the coast. Corpus Christi, on the other hand, is right on the coast, and it has this roadway that I'm on now called Ocean Drive, which hugs the coast. So we actually have a pretty beautiful stretch of area here that I'll show you in a second to make up for all of the flat land over interstate and expressway driving that you see me doing most of my videos. So what's going on, guys? I am in the driver's seat of a 2018 Honda Ridgeline sport utility truck, SUT maybe. I specifically requested this vehicle to do a press review on for a few reasons. One, I did a video about a year ago where a lot of people actually commented and said, you should take one for a drive. Even though it's not a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton or a dually truck, and a lot of people even argue that it's not even a truck, I personally liked a lot of aspects about it. And if you don't need a 3/4 ton up truck, this is definitely a vehicle to include in your search depending on what type of truck you're looking for. Now let me explain that. So a lot of people are shopping for half-ton trucks. They don't haul anything large. They don't haul a big fifth wheel or a big RV. They really don't have a need for a truck other than the occasional trip to the store, or they do projects, maybe a lawn care company. They might haul a small trailer around. You know, there's all sorts of different applications that you can use a truck for where you may not want the size of your traditional 3/4 ton truck. So naturally, there's a market for trucks like the GMC Canyon or the Chevy Colorado or the Nissan Frontier, Toyota Tacoma. And I would honestly say that if you're looking for those types of vehicles, you really should include the Honda Ridgeline in your search. Now let me explain why. First of all, out of all the vehicles I just mentioned, the Honda Ridgeline is the only one that rides on a unibody platform, which is going to be a much more rigid platform than your traditional body-on-frame that the entire truck industry uses. Now, the unibody platform is the same type of platform that you would see in most SUVs, at least most mid-size and smaller SUVs, like a Dodge Durango, like a Mercedes or a BMW X5. You know, any of your mid-size SUVs or below now ride on unibody platforms. Unibody platform essentially means that the entire body substructure is one piece. So you're going to be riding on a much tighter tolerance setup. It's not a body on bushings resting on top of a frame. Secondly, because of that, it's going to give you a very car or SUV-like ride. So just the whole experience of riding, going over bumps, is far different and less jarring than you're going to get even in the most comfortable of pickup trucks. Now, I say that because they've done a great job making pickup trucks more comfortable, especially the new 2019 Ram. Wonderful truck to drive in. However, when you go over bumps and you have no load in the back, you still have a bit of a jarring ride or a bit of a bouncy ride. It doesn't do a great job of tackling obstacles that the back tires and the back suspension's having to deal with when there's no load in the back. It is still a relatively smooth ride, and arguably smoother than many SUVs, but it's definitely not a car. In the sense of a Honda Ridgeline, you're going to have a car-like experience when you're driving it. It's going to give you that more planted feeling, especially if you're going to take corners, if you're going around obstacles, if you're having to maneuver in the road. Any type of traditional driving experience is going to feel more planted and secure in a Ridgeline than it really would in any other pickup truck. They've designed this vehicle to have a lot of utility for what it is. Now, what I mean by that, you're not going to use this to haul a fifth wheel. You're not going to use this to haul an 8,000-pound travel trailer. Shoot, you're not even going to use this to haul a large boat. What you could use this for is to do almost everything that most people do in their half-ton trucks, and then some. Now, what I mean by that is they've added a lot of smart technology into this vehicle. One of the really, really nice aspects of it is when they designed the bed of this truck, they designed it to be a far more utilitarian-based bed than your traditional pickup bed. Is it as large? No. Is it as deep? No. But it's almost as wide. And the base of it, between the actual wheel well or fender covers, is a full 4 feet wide, so you can still put a large sheet of 4x8 plywood in the back without any problem at all. The cargo capacity on these Ridgelines are also incredibly impressive, ranging upwards of 1,400 pounds. So when you compare that cargo capacity to, let's say, an F-150 or a Silverado, once you get it with the luxury package and all the amenities, you're talking about pretty much the exact same cargo capacity that you're getting in a half-ton truck. You're also getting four-wheel fully independent suspension on this vehicle, as well as all-wheel drive. So if you're looking for, let's say, that cross between, say, a Subaru and a pickup truck, the Ridgeline is a really, really good alternative. It gives you the utility of pretty much a half-ton or even down to a mid-size pickup, and at the same time, a lot of the functionality you'll get with a half-ton truck. Now, what I really like about the truck from the interior perspective is how comfortable it is. It has a really nice layout. The interesting thing, too, is the width of the layout is much wider than you might normally attribute to a truck this size. Typically, you have a center console that's super narrow. You feel like you're sitting too close to your passengers. In this particular truck, it has the width that, to me, feels very much like you're riding in a full-size pickup truck. And one thing Honda is definitely known for is driver safety. Putting technology and features in place that really help the driver from a safety perspective. So this truck has all sorts of technology. It's got collision avoidance, it's got lane keeping, blind spot detection, cross path detection, if you are veering off of your lane guidance, all sorts of really cool technology. And some of them are pretty intuitive, such as the lane keeping, where I can actually take my hands off the steering wheel in many instances, and the truck will maintain the lane that it's in. It's definitely one of those systems that I don't believe you should ever fully divert your attention away from the steering wheel, but it's really an interesting system when you see it work, when you see that you can pull your hands off the steering wheel on an interstate or an expressway, and the vehicle's going to do a pretty good job of maintaining its lane and really just, allowing you to take your hands off the steering wheel for a second, which I do not endorse, by the way. I would never recommend that you actually remove your hands from the steering wheel while you're driving, just from a safety perspective. If you've never been here before and you've just based your interpretations of Corpus Christi or your opinion of Corpus Christi on the videos I've made, then you really haven't seen the area that most tourists visit. This is a city, they call it the city by the sea. It's right on the coast. It has a beautiful downtown area, great area to walk and run. Way far ahead, not sure if you can see it, but that's the USS Lexington, which is a World War II and Vietnam era decommissioned aircraft carrier. Goes by the Gray Ghost. So here's a question that you may be asking. Who should really go out and buy a Honda Ridgeline? What I would say as an answer to that is really anybody who is looking for a more compact pickup truck with a sedan or SUV type ride with extra utility that they may need on occasion. Maybe you live in LA, maybe you live in Chicago or New York and you don't have the room for a larger truck, but you want the fuel economy of a sedan, at the same time the capability of a half-ton truck, along with the ability to carry your family with you. This is an absolute great alternative to a full-size pickup truck. With all the safety features that it has, it's definitely a great vehicle for many of those environments, just for the fact that it's going to keep you a little bit more aware of what's going on around you. The interior of this vehicle is stereotypically Honda, Acura, Lexus, Infiniti, that type of feel. All of the materials are soft touch. It has a very solid feel to it. It definitely feels high quality, well put together. But more importantly, if you are used to Hondas, you understand part of their reputation has been built around just pure reliability. Ask anybody with a Honda generator, a Honda tractor, or pretty much anything else made by Honda. So if you get one of these vehicles, you're going to get a vehicle that is arguably going to last you forever. Just passing the downtown convention center. Now, one thing I want to point out about the driving mannerism of this vehicle is that it definitely makes you feel as if you're in an SUV or even a car. You don't sit as low as a car, so you definitely get the height and the feeling of being in a taller vehicle. But as far as the layout, how things are designed, the ergonomics, it feels like a well laid out sedan. You're going to get features like push-button start, dual-zone air conditioning. Just think of it like getting a pickup truck and an SUV with all the options that you would get in a fully loaded Accord. That's probably the best way to think about it. You're getting a ton of capability and flexibility with a vehicle like this that you might not get if you are settling for either a car or just a pickup truck. This really combines the two together. The way I kind of define it is a modern day El Camino with 4 seats. It really gives you so much more utility than you'll ever get in a car, while at the same time in a smaller, easier to drive package. No intimidation here. If you drive a car, even a compact car, you could hop into one of these in a second and feel completely comfortable driving it, just with its size, with the overall feel. Gives you backup cameras, plus front and rear parking sensors to help you park. Honda has really done a great job of addressing that need for a mid-size SUV, pickup truck, car, and combining them all into one vehicle, which is the Ridgeline. Now, this particular vehicle is priced right at $42,595, which in my opinion is a fair price for a fully loaded vehicle, with every bell and whistle you can imagine this vehicle coming with. Which means as you go to lower trim packages or packages with features you may not need, that price is just going to go down, and you can easily pick up one of these for the mid-30s. If you're wondering about the power and what's under the hood of this vehicle, it's a 3.5 liter VTEC V6 with 280 horsepower. So it has the power to accelerate the way you're going to want it to or expect it to. It gets on ramps and up to interstate speeds very quickly and comfortably. It definitely feels properly powered for the type of vehicle it is. This isn't the type of vehicle that needs 350 horsepower. 280 horsepower in something like this feels very, very good. And in many ways, it feels just as quick and capable as larger engines in bigger pickup trucks. Now, real quick, I want to go over some of the features that this has that Honda calls sensing. It's called Honda Sensing. It has collision mitigation braking avoidance. So basically collision avoidance will stop the vehicle if it feels you're about to rear end somebody. Adaptive cruise control, which matches the speed of the vehicle in front of you automatically. If you're traveling on the interstates or the expressways and you're going for a long distance, this really helps you maintain your distance from the vehicle in front of you without having to constantly apply the brake and then accelerate again. It has lane keeping assist, where it actually will keep the vehicle in the lane that you're currently in. Plus forward collision warning, lane departure warning, and road departure mitigation. If it feels that you're starting to leave the road, it'll actually pull the vehicle back into the center. Really, really nice. MSRP on this unit is $41,620 after destination and handling, $42,595. One thing that's interesting to note is I thought that the headlights on this vehicle were actually HID headlights or xenon, but they're not. They're LED projection style headlights. And I was wondering because as they projected out, they produced a very, very sharp cutoff line. And Honda has always been known to make incredibly well-designed and great output headlights, going all the way back to the S2000, if you guys remember that vehicle. This vehicle has outstanding headlights and they produce a tremendous amount of usable light on the road surface. And they're LED. Well, I hope you enjoyed my cruise around Corpus Christi and the first video in the series on the Honda Ridgeline. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again soon.